Right, and internet bam. It's there, mate. I'm gonna open the blind. I think that's a blind.
Oh,
I don't know. There we go.
well, very nice too.
I was sitting in the dark just for fun. That's what I like to do. Right.
Oh, going out here.
Podcast. I don't know, mate. Is there things are happening?
Shut up! I don't know.
That's
It's
how-
the outside. They're allowed
That's
to be
how
out
it's
there.
I guess.
They stay out there. I stay in here. That's how it works. That's
Yeah.
the way it is.
Hmm.
Right. Okay. Game on. Here we go.
All right. Timestamp
Fine,
it,
get-
mate.
Timestamp the burp. Get that out of the way. Here we go. Hello and welcome to the JfG podcast. This is episode 258. My name is Alex and I'm joined, as ever, by my very good friend Ash. Hey, buddy. How's it going there where you are?
Hey, buddy. Yeah, I'm good. I'm feeling good on a Wednesday. It's been a couple of weeks since we've done this.
We had a summer break, buddy. Our famous summer break that we have every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was working out of town, and I couldn't podcast.
Fair. It's
I
reasonable.
believe. Yeah. I mean, I was at Gatwick. If anyone cares,
That's an airport.
that's an airport. Yeah. I was literally. There's the fence. I was there next to the fence.
Next to the fence. You're standing
Next to the
next to the fence beside the runways, or?
Yeah, pretty much. I saw lots
Right.
of planes. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of planes. Trains, on the other hand.
More of a
Yes.
train man.
Train
Well
man.
known. Yeah.
Yeah.
Steeped
Planes-
in history.
Not too fussed about them, but they were
Doesn't
there.
give Nah.
I was there. It was
Yep.
okay. Yeah, I had to record an induction video for what they called immigration centres, because Serco owned them, and they're part of the justice and immigration sector of Serco. As am I. I mean,
Yep.
not me personally, but my job is part
Yeah.
of that. In a prison. That's
There you
what I
go.
do.
That's
There
what you do.
I was recording, just going down there, mooching about, recording what's going on, what happens when a detainee turns up and he's like, "Hey, rub me down," and that's about it, really. Obviously,
Was it similar to the videos we watch or are forced to watch before go-karting? For example, caution, black and white flag. You are driving beyond your means.
Yeah,
Was it like that sort of thing? Did you put that voice on throughout?
I mean, I haven't done the voiceover, but in my head, that's exactly what I was
Yellow
thinking.
flag.
Yeah, yellow
Slow
flag.
down to half race pace.
Yeah.
I could do that.
Don't smuggle stuff in your bum.
Yeah, I mean, obviously
that's-
that rarely comes up in the karting videos, but is more pertinent to the video that you're making. So
Yeah.
that's fair enough.
Yeah. I'm off this week though. I've booked the week off. Most people do that for fun reasons. Not me. Not this guy. He's an idiot. I booked it off to save myself £2,000. By doing work on the house myself. One side of my house needs repointing, which is a process of taking out the old mortar between the bricks and putting new stuff in.
And is it the left or the right that needs repointing, buddy?
I mean, if you're looking at it face
if you're looking
on,
out of the door or at the door?
at the door, it's the right-hand side.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Just
that's
wanted-
in
I'm,
front
you know,
of the door.
trying to picture it. It's important.
How can you look behind?
Well, you'd be looking over your shoulder, but it'd be over your shoulder to the left if you're standing in the doorway.
But you could be facing either way.
Sort
in
of
the doorway.
inquisitively or kind of sexual, something sort of a bit like this.
Oh. that was very weird.
Yeah, that's
slightly arousing.
That's for the people watching on the live stream there.
That is what you get.
We'll be timestamping that later on.
Damn.
So
We'll timestamp that. That's
Oh, well, nice,
tasty.
buddy. Cheeky bit of Gatwick, cheeky bit of essentially bathroom grouting, but for a building.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Anything else to report?
Yeah. Monday night, normally Wheeltown. I got invited to play some Dungeons and Dragons. As you know, listeners of the podcast already know, or if they don't, they do now. I've always wanted to have a little go at this, and yeah, I loved it. I made that it was really good. There was like 4 of us, like the dungeon master. I can't remember his name. I think it was Greg. It was really good. He took us through. We used dndbeyond.com website to create our characters, and you can do. It makes your whole entire character sheet, and you can use it to roll the dice and everything there. So I didn't even have to have any dice. It was great.
Were you a buxom wench?
I wasn't. I was a half elf bard.
Okay.
Called Ludwig the Fast Fingers.
There you go. Very nice.
Because I love to shred.
Yeah.
And also, I'm a bit of a thief. So, yeah.
Those are 2 of the reasons why he's got that nickname.
Yeah, there are more.
Yeah.
But that's in my lengthy backstory that I could have written, but I didn't because I'm not that kind of guy. I like to keep it loose.
Yep. Fill in the details as you play,
Yeah, exactly. I let people know who I am and what I'm about.
Nice.
It was ace. Obviously, first thing I do, turn up in this guild hall and just start rocking out on the loot. I'm like, yeah. I think I rolled like a 7. No one was impressed, so that made me a bit sad.
Shit.
Yeah, but it was good.
Well, that sounds quite fun.
Yeah, ended up going into some woman's basement and killing some rats. It was good.
You went into a woman's basement.
Yeah, killed some rats.
Right.
Yeah, there was a hole in the wall where the rats were coming through from the sewer. Yeah, penetrated that wall.
Yep.
Even though it was already, knocked down, so I just walked through the hole.
Very nice.
Dispatched the rats, and then as a bard, you can have like I think it's like 4 magical spells. You can have 4 spells, or maybe 6. I don't know. And one of them was I picked animal friendship because I like having a little sidekick. That's cool, right? Obviously, befriended one of the biggest rats down there. He was my mate. As we went back upstairs, told the old lady we've sorted out your rat problem. She freaks out because I've got a rat behind me. So, obviously, I tried playing a little song, regaling her about, our adventures in her basement and how I befriended the rat. She didn't like it, didn't like the song. I think I rolled a 4. These are out of like 20, so I'm really shit at the loot, apparently.
Yeah.
And yeah, she just tells me to fuck off and do one. So I was like, all right, not bad.
Man.
It was a great adventure. It was fun.
Trying times for Ludwig.
Yeah. I don't know if he will continue or I will create a new one. But yeah, we are looking for a game to join now. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Very cool. Nice, man.
Nice. Anything? You got anything?
Oh, me?
Yeah, you.
No.
No. Okay.
I nothing to report. I don't think. I had a barbecue at my folks. They didn't actually have a barbecue though. It was all kind of overgrown. So I used a wheelbarrow.
Classic.
With great success. So that was good. What else? I bought a new picnic bag today.
Oh, nice.
This is the sort of level we're at.
Yeah.
This is where we are. I got the old picnic cool backpack. It's got space for all your bits in there, buddy, and 30 liters, I think it was. Pretty decent.
Nice.
Decent size, and room for a blanket. Got a blanket as well, so I'm all geared up and looking to picnic. So yeah, that's probably the most exciting thing that's happened to me
since
we last spoke. Just been working, and
love it. He loves working.
Huge fan of just working out of my bedroom since
Yeah.
March. So nice.
It's
Nice
been
to
a
have job.
while.
Nice to have a job, but 5 months in, getting a bit old. But that would probably be the case with whatever you're doing for 5 months in your bedroom. I would say,
Wanking.
even that.
Yeah, I'd
But
get bored of that.
Nothing else to report, buddy. I've been playing a lot of video games. I've been playing a lot of 2 video games, I should say.
He's been playing 2 video games a lot.
A lot. Really, really a lot. A lot of them. So,
Firstly, though, what are you drinking?
It's a nice shipyard, buddy. Cheeky shipyard.
I'm a huge fan. I had some of them.
They were on offer on Tesco. They were £11 for a 10-pack.
Right.
Which,
because I live up north, I went to B&M the other day because I love going to shops. 85p a can. Oh, are they the 440s you've got?
Yes.
Yeah, I got the 330s. 85p a can. I was like, fuck yeah. I'll have a slice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Probably a similar pounds per litre there,
I would say so. I'm not going to do the math.
No.
I could, though, if you
But it's nice that we've given someone an arithmetic problem to solve while they're listening to the show. So you're welcome.
Let us know.
What are you drinking, buddy?
Well, buddy, this evening I'm on this hazy IPA, which I made myself.
Oh shit, he's on the homebrew.
It's on the homebrew, yeah. It's about 4.5%, maybe. Who knows? Does the job. Tasty, hopalicious, bit of an aftertaste. Probably, because it's the first time I've ever brewed beer. It's going to happen. But yeah, definitely drinkable. I've gone through like 18 of them already.
Nice. I've
got 2 mini kegs waiting for me that I'm going to have to drink at some point. But yeah.
That's a nice problem to have, buddy.
It is. And I've got another 25 litres ready for bottling next week. Or maybe end of this week. Maybe this weekend. I don't know.
Conveyor belt of fun.
It is. It is indeed. Oh, nice. So, games then. Which are the 2 games you've been playing?
I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh, yeah.
And F1 2020, my career mode. Yes. What have you been playing?
I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima's.
There you go. Okay, well, let's talk about that then.
Right.
It's the new exclusive Sony Samurai game from Sucker Punch.
Yeah, Sucker Punch from Infamous
fame.
Yeah,
yes.
they did that game.
You play as Jim. I believe his name is Jim.
Jim Samurai.
Short for James. And he's a samurai, a budding samurai. He's living on Tsushima, which is an island off of Japan. And the Mongols are attacking. And they overthrow the whole island. And it's James's job to take that island back, buddy. It's the classic fucking...
he's the last samurai.
Fighter. He is essentially Tom Cruise, yes.
Yeah.
And so it's an open world game. It's on an island. It's a nice size. It's set into 3 separate major areas. And it's like Assassin's Creed, but with good combat. And a reason to play.
Yes.
What do you make of it? How have you been getting on?
I have been mooching about the first area of the island a lot.
Yep.
I find myself mooching around a lot because I want to find things. Because it's really cool when you find things in video games. That's just a general thing. And it works really well on this. There's all kinds of things to hunt down and find. There's little mini games like Follow the Fox, which I'm a huge fan of. And when you follow this fox, he'll give you like a little trinket thing that you can either use or not. I think they're called charms. Is it charms?
Yep.
Yeah. And these can be various things from armor buffs to other things. That,
Yeah, I got a throw
Like-
2 more kunais.
there you go. Extra 15% arrow damage or something like that. And you can have multiple of these on at once. As you get further in the game, you unlock more slots. You know how video games work. Things level up, numbers go up, things get better, which is really cool. There's also the bamboo game, which is like
push the button.
push the buttons before the time runs out. That increases your resilience. Is that the
Yeah, I
word?
think so. You can get more. You can get more of the old health thingies as
Yes.
well.
So in this, you have your health bar, which at the beginning is very small, and I died a lot. Mainly because I didn't know how to play the game, get to grips with the combat. But that doesn't take a lot of time to get used to. I must say, like dodge, and parry as your kind of go-to beginner moves. And then you have your, whatever that word was, I said resolve. No, was it resolve?
Yeah, it is resolve. Yeah,
there you go.
Little discs of resolve.
Yes,
that can
you have
act
discs of
like health files.
Exactly. So you obtain resolve from like mainly killing people. You get it through other things as well. There's perks later on where if you parry or get a perfect parry, you get extra resolve and things like that. If you stab a guy that's crawling on the ground who just wants to die, it fills a lot of your resolve kind of thing. And yeah, you use this resolve to heal yourself whilst in combat. And another perk is you can actually use that to revive yourself, which has come in handy a couple of times for me, I must say.
Yeah.
There's hot springs to find, which
haikus to make.
Yeah, exactly. Little things to play your flute.
Yeah.
You can play your flute, and then there's like, what are they called? The places you go pray at. Those things as well.
Little shrines.
That's the word.
Once you get to the second island, there's like jewels.
Ooh.
Where there's like specific sort of areas where you can go and jewel some dude. It's like, cheeky. Basically, there's a fair old bit to do. And it's quite pleasant, like without being especially spectacular. All the side stuff.
Yeah, because this game looks really nice.
It's graphically awesome looking video game. I love the way that it uses the wind to direct you to where you need to go.
That's nice.
Rather than having like a map to follow. You just follow the wind, and if you want to get the wind to sort of pick up a little bit so it helps you a little bit, you just swipe up on the touchpad and it sort of blows a bit of a gale. The particle effects on this are unbelievable. All of the blossoms and stuff, that obviously helps inform you the direction you need to go. This is a really video game, I would say. I don't know if it's just because I've come off the back of playing The Last of Us Part 2, where it's trying to be very realistic, but this game feels very much like a game. Like the way that when you collect stuff, it just sort of dissolves. The skill tree is reminiscent of like much older games, and actually much more like I enjoy a skill tree. I don't really want something that's mega elaborate, but essentially it's like, this is pointless because everyone will just get all of this unlocked by the end anyway, so you're not really speccing your player. Whereas this, it's like you're more unlocking moves and stances and poses and that sort of thing, which makes the combat more interesting, and that's much better, I think, than...
My favorite bit is the ghost abilities. So obviously as a samurai, you're meant to just stand there and be like, I'm fucking here, come on, take me on, which is definitely what you can do using the standoff option, I guess is the word.
Just up on the D-pad and it's like, come and face me, or whatever,
and you can instantly get one person kill or one hit kill on someone there, possibly two if you unlock some more stuff, which is cool. And then you're just in a big fight. Or very early doors, one of the first missions or whatever it is how to be sneaky, which is, a standard game thing. Get used to the controls, which, that's fine. You need to get used to the controls. But it's not very samurai-like, is it, buddy?
No, it's very dishonorable. Your uncle doesn't like it, and neither do any of the other samurai, and sort of directly affects how people think of you if you're like dishonorable like that. Seems to also affect the weather.
Yeah,
So,
which is odd, but that's a thing.
Yeah.
I can't remember where we were going. You were talking about the skill tree. That was it, and I was on about how being sneaky and. Yeah, it's nice because your ghost abilities. I think there's like 6 of them, and each one's different. I think there's like smoke bombs, like wind chime balls, or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really nice thing. So all these things aren't unlocked, and you have to pick in which order you want them. So I think I picked whatever the first one was. Can't remember what it was, but the next one I was like, wind chimes, which is the classic throw something on the floor and it will distract a guard and pull him over and things like that. And I was like, I like that in video games. I want that one.
There's so much to unlock, and there's different ways to play. The absolute meat and drink of the thing, though, like the combat, is I really like it. It's a perfect blend of sort of hack and slash and blocking and parrying, reminiscent of something like Bloodborne or the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order or
The Witcher.
The Witcher, yeah. And I would argue that this game does it best out of all of those. I think that the combat in this game is absolutely fantastically satisfying, to the point where every time I come across a selection of enemies, I'm really pleased about it. It's like I'm looking for trouble because it's so much fun. And the different stances that you can get, so you can sort of choose between 4 different stances based on what sort of enemy type you're coming up against. And that will allow you to, for example, if you're coming up against a dude with a spear, fairly early on in the game, there's sort of spear jab attacks. They come up with a red mark on them, and that means you can't block them. You just have to dodge them. You can't parry them. But later on, as you unlock more stances and more perks, then you can go into the stance specifically designed to defend against spearmen, and then you can suddenly parry those unblockable attacks. And stuff like that's very, very cool game design. Getting a perfect parry to stun them and then execute is so satisfying.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember the last time I actively went around looking for enemy strongholds in a game just to clear them out, but this is so satisfying. And I think the stealth is borderline sometimes, but it does give you long enough on the reticule to get out of the way if you need to. I think that this game is excellent and really enjoyable, but I think that the story is so po-faced, so by the numbers. That and it's not the acting as such. Like the acting's fine. There's not a lot to work with. I don't know who was in charge of writing the script for this video game, but that person has done the worst job out of everyone who made it, in my opinion, because it's just really sort of straight-laced, po-faced, fucking, and kind of at odds with how fun the game can be and how vibrant the game can be. And that kind of makes certain things a little bit more mundane than they should be. That's the biggest weakness of the video game. And story is important to some people more than others. For me, it creates an immersive experience. And it's a shame that the story isn't brilliant. It's not terrible. It's passable. It's fine. But that, to me, that's what stops this being like a 10 out of 10 video game, is that narrative just being very unimaginative and quite uninteresting. There's not really many characters I give a fuck about. And that's one of the reasons why it feels so video gamey to me, is that the story is lacking to the point where it just feels like I'm playing a game rather than living in a game world.
Oh yeah, definitely. This is a game to play.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a game that you can come back to, which I have. I've played it for an hour. I've played it for 3 hours kind of thing. It's a game that you can pick up and do something in it and be like, oh, sweet, I've done that. Cool, nice, happy days.
It's a lovely place to be.
And
It really
I really
is.
enjoyed doing it kind of thing. It's... but yeah, like you said, it's not really compelling and rich in that
You're with me on that.
aspect.
Like it's
Yeah, I mean, there's... I think, especially with open world games, for me anyway, it's hard to really give a shit about a single storyline that's going on. I like open worlds because it's a lot of little things happening. That's where I get the enjoyment from. Like, I know when I complete like a section or a side quest that I'm like, oh yeah, cool, that was like fine. If it, because the majority of the things are just like, go help person achieve their goal. You know, it's,
I mean, you're
it's
absolutely right.
nothing
It's
amazing.
passable, but I just think it like comparing it to the best open world games that I have played in this PS4 generation. I'm looking at The Witcher 3 as the best example of how to write a side quest. The script is amazing, the characters are really interesting, and the side quests aren't just fetch quests, or if they are, they're steeped in narrative to the point where you don't mind.
Yeah, exactly.
And this isn't a patch on that. Now, obviously, The Witcher 3 is, in my opinion, one of the greatest video games ever created. So that's quite a high bar that I'm comparing Tsushima to.
But okay, right, compare it to like
that have never
Assassin's
made-
Creed Black Flag.
Yeah,
then.
well, yeah, it shits all over that sort of thing.
Exactly.
But then, you know,
'Cause
Ubisoft
what was there a
bunch of
story
rapists,
in that?
So
I can't even remember what happened in Black Flag.
no, it's pretty uninspiring. And then, you know, maybe I'll say to myself, well, you know, this is the first sort of historic open world that they've made. The infamous as like cityscapes and stuff. This is a very different for Sucker Punch. So, but then, you know, I compare it to something like Horizon. Guerrilla had never even made an open world game before, let alone one with robot dinosaurs.
Amazing.
The side quests in that video game infinitely better than Ghost of Tsushima as well.
True.
And just some weird shit. Like, this game is not buggy. It's brilliantly QA'd, in my opinion, because I haven't had any big issues at all. But just some weird scripting. And by scripting, I mean the mechanics of how the game is working. For example, you complete a mission with someone, and then it says, go and talk to this person. And you'll be standing beside them, but you'll have to wait, and then they'll suddenly sort of ping over across the room to park themselves in the sort of end of the quest area. Almost like an MMO sort of thing. And you sort of go over there, and then you can talk to them. It's just it's a bit mechanical, a bit clunky, and you can kind of see the strings being pulled in the background a lot of the time.
I had an annoying situation. As I've said, I like to venture about. I found a lighthouse, and I was like, oh, cool. So I went up the lighthouse, robbed the lighthouse pretty much. Very samurai-like, just steal the stuff that's in there. Then I went to a little camp, which was a stone's throw away. And one of the guys there's like, oh, the lighthouse is overrun with Mongolians. I'm like, I was just there. There was no one there. And then obviously I went back to the lighthouse and there's like 30 dudes there. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
Just saying it would have been nice to come across that. And then I went and spoke to the guy and he's like, oh, thank you for getting rid of the Mongols.
Lots of scripted stuff like that. I've had several occasions where I've entered an area and the enemy can't see me for whatever reason, and it seems like they're waiting for some sort of cue.
It's because you're a ghost.
I don't know if it like literally I'm standing in a field in broad daylight. There are 4 enemies in front of me, and they're all completely ignoring me to the point where I can assassinate them one by one as though I've crept up on them.
Classic ghost.
And then, like, by the time the third one goes, there's like a sound or a gong, and it turns out that a horse had to come round the corner in the distance to trigger this area that I was in, but that hadn't happened yet. And then all of a sudden they're like, "It's him!" and sort of chased it. Yeah. So it's got a few issues like that, a little bit of clunk about it. All in all, I'm well on my way through the second area, heading to the third.
He loves it.
I don't know how long I've played this for. The missus has been dipping in as well, but she just does like the collectible stuff. And then once I finish work, then I'll come in and we'll fuck shit up. That's kind of been there. So each time I come back, it's like it's like on WoW when you get some like little Indian kid to play for you for a couple of quid an hour to snoop up your character. She's been getting all the charms and bandanas, and every time I pick up the game again in the evening, we're wearing some sort of exciting new outfit. But I would highly recommend this game.
It's very good.
Depending on what you want from a game, this is between an 8 out of 10 and a 10 out of 10 video game, because that story is going to be the bread and butter. Like, for example, friend of the podcast, Funk, he won't give a fuck about like the story here or it's the mechanics of the game and the exploration that he enjoys. I think he would fucking love this video game.
Very, very good.
Whereas someone who like really wants a story, like a movie-esque cinematic experience, I don't think it really delivers that in the way that it's definitely trying to. You know, you see it's got like the film mode where you can go black and white and all of that sort of thing. I just don't think that the scripts and the characters are really up to snuff for that sort of experience. But for me, it's like a 9 out of 10 video game I really love spending time in, and must have. I don't know if you can find out how long you've played it for, but we're talking, you know, probably upwards of 50 hours already, and I think probably half the game left to play. So
that's really always good.
And I take it you're like really enjoying as well. You're looking to sort of press on through and perhaps complete this one too.
Yeah, I'm gonna get as far as I can with it, buddy. It's just an enjoyable game. Like I said, it's fantastic to just even just to pick up for like an hour or something. You can either like side quest it and just go straight for missions or something, or like I was just clearing some of the fog the other day, just like
wandering about.
Yeah, I was like, I bet there's something right here. Put a marker down. It's like, Mongol camp. No, obviously I killed them all.
Fucking right. Worth mentioning how quick the fast travel is here. It's a dream.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Compared to a lot of games that I've been playing recently, you can bring the map up anywhere you've been already. You can fast travel there. That thing takes less than 10 seconds from the moment that you hit fast travel to appearing in the area. It's a dream, and also almost a sort of little insight into what we can expect from the next generation with its fast drives and so on. So
it's going to be tasty. I cleaned out my PS4 Pro today. I found out that you can just pop the lid off that thing. Like you haven't got to unscrew anything. You can pop it off and then just clean the fan out. So I had my father-in-law's air compressor because I'm using it on the house at the moment. I was like, fuck it, give it a good
very nice
blast. So because that thing it's getting fucking noisy playing that game.
Yeah, our one's getting pretty warm. It's not got to last much longer though.
No, I think I'm gonna have to wait till about February to pick up my PS5. I don't think I can afford launch time. I might have to be a couple of months behind, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, I mean, we still haven't got any of the required details or a launch date or anything, so it's early doors at this point. We have got a little bit of PS4 news and Xbox news in
other shit.
A little bit later on, yes, in our best section, other shit.
So F1 2020, my club,
my team. I think
ultimate team
mode. Formula One. I fucking love this video game.
He fucking loves this video game.
I love this video game. I've played more than I would care to admit of this video game over the last 3 to 4 weeks.
Have you completed the season rank or whatever bollocks thing it is? The season, what are they called? Season pass?
Oh, the podium pass thing. Yeah,
That's the one.
I'm up to the level 30 thing on whatever that is.
Ooh,
And that's
that's
the
it.
end at the moment. Which, Destiny players not going to be very impressed with that. I got up there within sort of 20 hours, and now it's just like you've earned 1800 XP, and then it minuses it off because there's nowhere to go. It doesn't even save it for posterity. It's just like,
That's
nah,
bullshit.
yeah.
It should be just ranking you up.
Or not calculating XP at all,
Oh,
and just being
yeah,
like,
just get
you're
rid
at
of
the
it.
top. Yeah,
You
exactly.
did it. Congratulations.
I've completed an entire Formula One calendar on this video game, doing 50% races. So I've done all of the practice sessions, earning as many of the
Kudos
research points as I can.
Yeah, that's the one.
I've been doing full qualifying sessions and half distance races, and I've completed a whole season, which is 22 races.
Yeah.
Each one probably start to finish takes 2 hours, I would say. Plus all of the online play that I've been playing on a Monday night and a Friday night as well. So I think I might have played 100 hours of this video game already, and it's been out a month. That's how
He's
much I
done
love
well.
it.
He loves racing. It's that new seat, buddy. That's what it is.
The seat is an amazing difference because I can camp in that for fucking hours without getting any sort of back pain or problems at all.
I need to get one.
It's made a massive difference. It's made it so that it's pretty late on. The Mrs. Conks out goes to bed at like 10 o'clock, and I'm like, I'm going to do a Grand Prix weekend now at 10 o'clock at night.
Fuck you! I'm going to Silverstone.
I'm going to Silverstone. Yeah, so I won't bore you with the actual sort of results and the narrative of my season, but I am Monklet Honda. Monklet, of course, being a tiny monkey. Honda being the engine provider, and
nice.
I thought I'd be like the Honda Works team. That was my aim.
Yeah.
Worth noting, it doesn't let you have the word Honda because it's like a registered trademark in the video game.
Harsh.
So I'm H0NDA,
nice.
which just comes up as Honda in all of the main menus anyway because it's all capitalized.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've done a whole season.
You game.
Yeah, exactly. Suck a dick. So all the factory stuff, like I've been sort of scraping my way through the season. I'm quite pleased. I invested quite a lot in resilience and durability, and that meant that I only had to take one set of new components. Obviously, your stuff wears out over time. You're only supposed to use like 3 power units, 3 this, 3 that through a season. I ended up using 4, so I had to take a grid penalty for fitting these new parts, but I did it all on the same weekend. So I took a 60 place grid penalty at Russia, and then the engine made it to the end. After that, I had a couple of wins in my first season.
Get in, lad.
I finished 4th in the Drivers' Championship, which is an absolute miracle. I finished ahead of Vettel and Verstappen in the.
That's crazy.
I've got it on, just for reference, I've got it on 86 difficulty on there. So I inevitably need to turn it up a bit. I know a lot of like people who are proper sim racers play this thing on like 100 plus. I think it goes up to
110 or something, doesn't it?
I figure I'm going to leave the difficulty where it is until I win the Drivers' Championship, and then I'll be like, okay, I need to turn it up now.
Yep.
You can do 10,
and by then you'll have a capable car as well.
Exactly. So I'm already noticing the difference this second season. At the end of my first season, it gave me like £45 million. Previously, I'd been having like a maximum of 3 or 4 across different like months. So I managed to like chuck a load of stuff on all the factories, but it's incredibly Moorish, this game. It's so addictive in terms of spending your research points, souping up your car. Like the skill tree for your car is vast and really, massive, really detailed, and you can really feel the differences as you make the changes. The factory stuff in this game where you can slowly soup up like how many parts it can make at once in different areas, and the QA team in terms of like, at first it's like there's a 60% chance that your part will fail, in which case you have to do it again but at half the cost, whereas you can slowly get that down to 40% and then 20% and so on. It's just so customizable. You can soup up your driver, lots of different perks there. Once you get up to level 15, I've found you can buy a little perk for £1,000,000 that basically gets you double resource generation.
Oh,
I'm nearly
nice.
there, so I'm looking forward to that.
That's quite handy.
I went from the worst team to the I think 6th team out of 11 now, so I'm slowly working my way up the ladder. But all in all, like just masses of fun. The AI is vastly improved, at least offline in this instance. So
I did
it,
notice that in the like 5 or 6 races that I've done in my team is the AI actually knows you're there, which
yeah,
is
it defends like robustly and
yes,
fairly, and doesn't really hit you when you do the right things. It'll give you room.
yeah,
The
because
whole
obviously they
experience,
don't want to lose their position in
exactly.
like a
And
normal racer.
I still have a bit of luck here and there. For example, I did Bahrain last night for my second season, and I've put quite a lot of development into the aero, and that has meant that my car is better for longer on tires, and therefore sometimes maybe if they have to 3-stop, I can 2-stop,
Yeah.
or 1-stop. And so last night I did a 1-stop round Bahrain. I went from the red tire to the hard white tire, and I was in so much trouble. Inevitably, they all had to pit a second time, and they all came out behind me. But then they were all charging me down.
Yeah, they were going to come at you.
Verstappen goes past with 5 laps to go. Hamilton goes right up behind me with like 3 laps to go, and outbrakes himself, locks up into the back of me, takes his own wing off, and has to retire. In doing so, brings out the yellow flags, holds everyone up behind me.
Nice.
And I'm like, I'm looking good for second here, even though I'm lapping like a second and a half slower than Max in the lead. And then with a lap to go, Verstappen's engine blows up and I win the race.
Yay.
And it was so cool. I was like, yes! A video game hasn't made me feel like that for ages. But
yeah,
I'd just done
cool.
32 laps of Bahrain on like shit tires. And yeah, it's fucking great, this game. It's a wonderful, wonderful racing experience. Not like a super, super sim in the way of like iRacing or R Factor. Yeah. But in terms of a simulation of Formula One, you can't do better than this. And yeah, it just feels great. It's so much fun to play. I love this video game. I think it's absolutely fantastic.
He fucking loves it.
I do.
Nice.
That's how I feel.
It's a great game. I love racing.
It's really good. It looks fucking awful sometimes, though, graphically.
Yeah, well.
And the textures, sometimes they just don't make it in time. Sometimes you've got super low-res textures, and it's like, no, I couldn't. I'm sorry, I was unable to find these textures on your hard drive quickly enough. And therefore, no. Forget
Hopefully, next generation, we should be all right.
Won't be an issue. Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Given. So yeah,
nice.
That's what I've been playing, buddy.
It's been playing 2 games. A lot.
Yeah. Fucking loads. Yeah. Like 100 hours of one and like fucking 60 hours of the other. That's what I've been doing. Getting my money's worth.
Do it.
Given. So, other shit. Let's talk about other shit, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, not a lot's happened in the sort of 2 odd weeks that we missed, but a few bits and pieces have come out this week about PlayStation, and there's a few things to talk about Xbox-wise from a week or 2 ago when they had their showcase thing. So, firstly, PS4. It's finally been announced that PS4 official peripherals, like racing wheels, anything that's like, yes, this is a PS4 legitimate product or whatever, so your Thrustmaster and your Logitech shit and, anything like that, they will work natively with PS5. So no one needs to worry about that anymore. And everyone's kind of been aware that the VR headset was going to work out the box, but we weren't sure about our racing wheels. It's now been confirmed they're going to work.
Yes.
In terms of controllers, the DualShock 4 is going to work on PS5, but only when you're playing PS4 games. So,
that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can live with that. I think that their reasoning is retarded, but Yeah. The official line from Sony is that the reason for this is because the new DualSense controllers are designed with the next gen specifically in mind and will include
Yep.
controls and features that the DualShock 4
Yep.
isn't capable of.
Yep.
Fucking bullshit. Like, you could
Yep.
make the DualShock 4 controllers work at least in a sort of limited capacity with PS5 games.
They have buttons.
But they've got buttons and they've got fucking analog
Why do the
sticks and
wheels
triggers.
work, but not the controllers?
Yeah, well, the controllers work on PS4 games, but not PS5. That is entirely a by design software patch that they are doing there, rather. And yeah, I don't care. I don't care personally. But if you've got 4 controllers that are in good nick, then I could see how you might be a bit fucking annoyed, especially if you play lots of local stuff with friends.
True.
Because they're essentially just patching out your usage there, rather than it being a legitimate issue that.
I think it's good for the start, like the PS5. It means that I haven't got to fork out for like 3 new controllers straight away, and I can still play my back, pack games with a DualShock 4, with the kids and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm glad they fucking work, but also, why not just work all the time?
It's very much the software equivalent of when they brought out the PS2 multi-tap, and they just put in that little nubbin to stop it from working with PS1 stuff, to the point where if you unscrewed it and yanked that thing open so that it didn't protrude out anymore, then it worked. Like, it's basically that.
Yeah, but
anyway,
software way. Yeah. At least the wheels work though. That's cool.
Yeah, pretty important, especially for people like friend of the podcast, Paul, who's just dropped like $1,000 on new racing stuff. So
yeah, I really didn't think that was going to happen. I really thought they were going to be like, no, fuck you.
Yeah, wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I think that probably means the GT Sport element is a big part of this. Like the fact that they released a lot of Gran Turismo certified PS4 wheels. I think that might be one of the reasons why they felt that they had to have that compatibility there. That might have saved everyone. But anyway, there you are. In terms of actual sort of concrete PS5 news, not a great deal to report. Sony's holding a state of play Thursday, which is tomorrow for us. And they have specifically said there'll be no PS5 news there. It's going to be focusing on existing PS4 games that are, upcoming or whatever.
Yeah.
The rumor, however, is that there's going to be another event before the end of August. Microsoft have basically got a rumor exactly the same thing. It looks like there's going to be 2 events by the end of August that tell us this is how much these are going to be and this is when they're coming out. So we're a couple of weeks away. And yeah, it looks like certainly Sony have been going for drip feeding and building excitement under lockdown in the hope that everyone splooges out. And I think I saw I can't remember what website it was on now, but something that suggested like 2/3 of gamers are planning on picking up these new consoles within the first 3 months of the launch window, which is very, very high, and probably has rather a lot to do with the difficulties that people have had having to stay indoors, and they're just looking for something to be excited about. So yeah, there's been a price leak from a French storefront. No one knows if it's like verified or not, but it had the digital edition as $399 and the disc version as $499.
Yeah, crazy big difference, huh?
Yeah, €100 difference. That would put us at sort of $350 and $450 in pounds. $350 for the digital, which is
I'll buy that for £350.
Absolutely right, and then $450 for the disc version.
Fuck that.
With the proviso that they're probably selling that at a massive loss, but you would have to buy all of your content from their own storefront. So
I'm okay with that.
They're going to make it up over a couple of years.
I do that anyway, so
it's true. So there. On to Xbox. So firstly, the newest news is Project xCloud is joining Xbox Ultimate, which Ultimate is the sort of the super duper package where you get gold and Game Pass on PC and on console. I'm a member of Ultimate at the moment.
He's an Ultimate member.
It's like 35 quid every 3 months. So you're talking sort of just under a ton a year for all of that. And that gets you all the Game Pass stuff. And of course, they launch first party titles on that thing. So that's why it's not an unreasonable price for that. But anyway, xCloud. This is a stream service. It's like Stadia or whatever. On live, if you want.
Yeah, I was going to say, on live. Yeah.
This is
or
a
PlayStation
significant
now.
amount of video games. Yeah, it's a significant amount of games that you can stream. This is a service that is currently designed for, among other things, Android devices, and that's what's going to be working out of the box. So xCloud will join Ultimate, and you will be able to play Xbox One games in 1080p or I think 4K if you've got the connection for it on tablets and phones. And this will have native support for both Xbox and PS4 controllers via Bluetooth. So that's quite cool, really.
It's pretty decent, isn't it? It's not bad.
Pretty cool.
Guess.
You got a little
Fuck it.
Google tablet or Galaxy Note or whatever. Like, you could play games on the train in like full fucking
What's that?
quality.
Trains?
Well, yeah, in theory, if they've got a decent Wi-Fi, then you're away. Quite cool. Anyway,
you see, they're getting rid of gold now.
Yeah, well,
it makes sense.
Yeah, they seem to be stopping you from buying shorter stints of it, so you have to kind of pick up. No, longer. Sorry, you can't buy it annually.
No,
but you can still buy like 3 months and 6 months, and yeah, I don't know.
It needs to go now. They just need to move to this, I think.
I think so. Lots of rumors abound that both services are considering no longer charging for online play.
I think that's the way it should be from now on.
These business models for game streaming,
getting game streaming, and all the ad. Like, if you want cool shit, you have to subscribe. Otherwise, you can just buy the console, buy the games. Happy days, you can play. You know, it shouldn't be a thing where we have to pay for online play this day and age, I think.
Yeah, it does seem a bit odd. And with
it's never been there on PC, really, has it? So,
no, true.
Hey,
basically, Microsoft, I think that they have a very compelling argument for you being a member of Game Pass if you have a PC, if you have an Xbox, a current gen console, if you are going to be playing games and you want to stream them onto other devices. Inevitably, xCloud rolls out to, as eventually TVs and whatever, on your Fire Stick and that sort of thing. What I don't believe they had much of a compelling argument for was the Xbox Series X, because the Xbox showcase, in my opinion, was shit. I thought it was fucking shit. I didn't think much of the PlayStation 1 a couple of months ago, but this was worse. Okay, well, the main reason why is because back in May, Xbox did a showcase of predominantly third-party video games. They called gameplay, which most of it wasn't. And a lot of that wasn't Microsoft's fault. A lot of the games that they were showcasing were other people's video games rather than ones they were in complete control of. I still think it was a faux pas not to show any actual gameplay. And since then, Sony came out and did a showcase which had infinitely more gameplay. Still, in my opinion, not enough gameplay.
Grand Theft Auto 5 as well, mate. Fuck yeah.
It had some. It had some. The PlayStation event had some gameplay. And some launch dates as well.
Yes, that was nice.
So Microsoft have had quite a lot of time to think about what they did before, think about what Sony have done since, and prepare for their event, which, okay, cool. So I think a lot of people, me included, were expecting a lot of these problems to be addressed. Certainly, a fair old whack of gameplay, proof that the games are actually running on the console that they want us to buy,
True.
and some release dates for those video games as well. Like, because what the fuck? When are you going to release something for your new system? Especially when you're tailoring games to work across your entire arsenal of hardware rather than optimized for your new hardware. That's a worrying trend. That's a worrying sign for people who want to be early adopters and are looking for a next generation experience. So, with all that in mind, Xbox Showcase, what are they going to do? I'll tell you what they're going to do. They're going to show a shit ton of first-party titles.
Yes.
With no fucking gameplay whatsoever, with no proof that they're running on any of the on the actual Xbox hardware. In fact, with caveats and statements shortly after that it wasn't running on Xbox consoles. You're going to show off Halo Infinite, which was extremely disappointing.
That looks shit.
Apparently that thing's been in development hell for about 5 or 6 years. It was built for Xbox One, and they've basically up-resed that thing. It's essentially a delayed current-gen game rather than a next-gen title. And I think it looks like it's going to be really fun. It's going to have a lot to offer. What it isn't is a shining beacon of what the Series X can do with its incredible hardware and speeds. We've had nothing about hard drive speeds.
Absolute balls.
Halo Infinite. I think it looks. I think it looks fun. It made me want to play it.
No.
I liked the look of it, but I didn't like the look of it. I liked the idea of playing it.
I like the idea of Halo because I love Halo. Like it's well.
This game didn't look good.
It didn't look good, and the combat just looks not exciting. Unexciting,
and it was running on a PC,
and it
wasn't even running on the Xbox.
I mean, I'm gonna say I put that gameplay up against Destiny, and I'm like, yeah, I'm alright. I'll play Destiny, thanks. And that's not because I'm a Destiny fanboy.
We saw some Destiny, and Destiny looked infinitely nicer than Halo Infinite.
Well, there is that.
It did,
but the shooting in it. The enemy combat in it was just, there was no excitement whatsoever in that. It was like plodding along, throwing stuff. Oh, look, I can pick this up and launch it, and boom, it explodes. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
La-di-da, nothing of... I mean, you think back to Halo, like 1, 2, and 3 or whatever, the heydays of it, and it was action-packed. It was moments of awesomeness. This did not have anything like that. I thought, like, the kind of cut scenes with the dude that found you was just awful. He's like, no, wait here, kind of thing. It's just no.
I mean, not only did that look really shit, but I thought the acting was diabolical.
Yeah,
there, and the script was bizarre. Like the way he was reacting to things was very odd.
Everything was bad. I'm sure, like, it won't be. I'm sure it's going to be a good game. But from what they showed, it didn't fill me with any hope whatsoever.
It's just thoroughly disappointing because we know that the hardware at least is more powerful than the PS5. Yeah. I've absolutely no doubt that Halo Infinite is not an example of the power of the Xbox Series X. That thing's a fucking powerhouse. Games are gonna look amazing on that system, but you're gonna need to show me that. I know it to be true because I understand how hardware works.
I want to have games that I want to play on it, like Ghost of Tsushima, like Horizon Zero Dawn.
This exclusives problem is a huge one.
Like Uncharted.
There are a real shortage.
Sorry, I'll stop.
Exactly. Now. No, please don't. It's So here are the games that we were shown, and by shown, I don't really mean shown because we didn't see any gameplay.
I guess.
Here's a list of games we didn't see gameplay of: Avowed from Obsidian. Fable, which is being made by Playground. I know that because it was leaked ages ago that they were working on that. Forza, we saw a sort of CG ray traced trailer of stuff in a garage and a camera angle from over a fence. Sure, fine.
Loved it.
That looked nice, but it's not an accurate representation of anything. Destiny, obviously, we saw a bit of gameplay of that. That's a game that's been out for several years, so
it's pretty old.
Fucking big whoop. Everwild, lovely CG trailer. This is the Rare's sort of MMO they're working on. It looks like they've taken that Sea of Thieves engine and turned it into an exciting RPG.
It looks cool,
but who knows? Because it was just a fucking CG
I don't know
trailer.
what was going on there, but interesting. But yeah.
State of Decay 3, there was a stupid fucking CG trailer for that, bearing in mind that game, State of Decay 1 and 2, they look fucking shit, those games. Like, regardless of how much fun they are, regardless of how much... I quite enjoy playing State of Decay 2, I've been playing it with a bit of it with the funk. It is not a pretty game, and neither is 3 going to be. And the idea that you show me this pre-rendered trailer from another company that isn't even making the video game in 2020, when you're peddling a console that's going to be capable of 8K and 120 frames. What are you doing? I don't give a fuck about your videos. It's games. Show the games. What are you doing? What they're doing is not very. What they're doing is the most that they can do, because they don't have any software ready for their new video game console.
Maybe.
Outer Worlds DLC. We saw some gameplay of Outer Worlds DLC because it's a game that's already out.
That came out last year,
running at 120 frames.
Cool story.
I mean, that
game
TV
can run 120 frames.
Yeah, which no fucker does. I could go and knock on the closest 100 doors of my neighbours asking, and I live in a fucking posh cunt area, and none of them would have one.
You're that guy.
You know, so what? It's, who cares? Psychonauts 2, we saw very, very limited gameplay of. It looks really cool. That looks cool. Fair enough. But I didn't really see very much gameplay there, but it looks cool. Stalker 2 CG trailer, none the wiser. The Medium CG trailer, none the wiser. What's the point? Who cares about your fucking showcase?
Shiny, innit? That's all you got to do. Put the shiny stuff out. What
a waste of everyone's time.
Yeah, that was a great hour of my life.
And
much
why
like this
do
podcast.
that after the feedback from before? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. We don't know.
No doubt the console's going to be great.
Oh yeah, Gibbons, that's going to be awesome.
But yeah, tremendously disappointing. I think everything we've seen of the next gen console so far there's been far too much of you fill in the gaps in your mind as to what this is going to be, because we can't fucking show you. We haven't got evidence or proof of anything that we're supposed to be showing. Same with Sony. Like, at least they did a sort of an explanation of their hardware, and at least they've got some first party titles, and at least they dated some of those. But even then, there's 3 games coming out at launch that are actually new, one of which is a essentially DLC pack for an existing game. Everything feels very half-baked. It feels like, despite the fact we've been waiting a really long time for these new consoles, there just isn't really anything ready for them. That's how it feels. But at least Sony's got stuff coming out in March. Most of these games, I'm none the wiser as to when's Everwild coming out, when's Forza coming out. And motherfucking Spencer said these games were going to be working on a cross-platform for 2 years, and a lot of these games didn't have coming out on Xbox One, which means that most of what they showed is over 2 years away. So what are you, if you buy this fucking thing, what are you playing this time next year on your Series X? What? Fucking Sea of Thieves? Like, Gears 5? These games are old. Like, what's the point? I don't understand.
Hey, but you can play Ori at 120 frames per second.
120 frames, yeah, when you've invested in your $2,000 television. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
let's
all get stuck in then.
Come on,
Eurogamer made a wonderful point on one of their Digital Foundry articles that, bafflingly, as we enter the month of August, there's a good chance that we've still not seen a single frame of gameplay running on an Xbox Series X.
Nice.
And I think that tells you everything you need to know about what confidence you should have in Microsoft. They are smashing it out the park with their services,
Yeah.
but they do not have the software to back it up, and they do not have anything ready for their new fucking console.
No. At least with Sony, they were like, well, this isn't coming out straight away, but it'll be out next year at this point. So, okay, cool.
Yeah.
At least you're,
within 6 months of the console coming out, we're going to be... Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. Say what you will about the new consoles. There's been a narrative in the past, because I'm predominantly a PlayStation gamer, that I've got some sort of affinity to one company over another.
Yes, I'm a huge fan, and I'm just a massive fanboy, buddy. I love it.
Yeah. Worth noting, I feel that this gen, I've had wonderful experiences on both systems. I picked up an Xbox One S, and I've loved Game Pass. I've been an advocate of it from the start.
Yeah.
But if you're not going to show me any software for your new hardware, why the fuck would I buy it during a fucking recession pandemic lockdown? You absolute cunts. Why?
I feel like you've nailed it with that statement there. I can't really add to
that. Well, thank you, buddy. I suppose we shall move on.
Yeah, let's do
that. A few random tidbits. Firstly, wonderful news. Motorsport Games, of course, no one's heard of them. They make the NASCAR Heat series,
which classic. Yeah,
no one's played. Although I've actually played the demo of NASCAR Heat 3 and rather enjoyed it. It's a good little stint. Yeah, there we are. They have basically got the license for the British touring cars and are making a new British touring car game for the first time since, I think, Tocker Race Driver 2 in about 2004.
God, I love that game.
Isn't it?
I think we bought that from Blockbusters.
They're making a touring car sim. Isn't that exciting? Depending on who you are.
It made me excited. It dried my mouth out, so I had to drink. Yeah, no, that's cool.
It's a surefire sign.
It's going to be some tasty tracks on that bad boy.
Fucking right, yeah. I'm looking forward to chucking it around Rockingham Speedway and Snetterton, Alton Park, Donington.
Donington, not too far from me.
That's brands, both the Indy and the GP.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's that other
Knock
one?
Hill.
Is it something Alton Park? That's near me somewhere.
Alton Park, yep. Yeah. Alton Park, that's that'll be on there. Yeah, touring cars is great, and I'd be really excited to see what they've got in that game in terms of maybe support series and stuff like the Ginetta Juniors and the Clio Cup. Like, there's lots of options there. No one's got licenses to any of these series, and with Project Cars moving away from simulation and into fucking wanky arcade money, then there's a little space for a game like this to come out. So yeah, early in development, but I'm really excited. I like touring cars. I've been to quite a few races, and it's great. So there you are.
Happy days.
What else? FIFA 21 is a game that I will be buying.
Okay.
I'll be buying it because I can't buy PES because there isn't one. They're releasing a update for the current PES, which is a terrible game, to the tune of £25, despite the fact that they don't have most of the licenses for even team names. So they're selling you like an edited save file with with kits from like 4 of the 10 leagues, and the transfers done for you. So yeah, I'm not going to buy that. But FIFA, I'll buy FIFA because I have to have a football game. I love football because it's the if you buy it on the current gen, you get a free upgrade to the next gen, and because FIFA 21 is going to have new co-op modes, including co-op Ultimate Team mode.
Ooh,
which, you know, I'll have a little slice of that. That sounds like it might not be that bad a thing.
Maybe.
Especially as they'll have to change the entire monetary model when loot boxes are banned. So that Ultimate Team mode could actually become something that is like fair and reasonable and enjoyable in the coming month.
That
Or
could
maybe it
be.
doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, ifs and buts, buddy.
Given. Elsewhere, Konami
Yeah.
now make gaming PCs.
Yeah.
Saw this. What the fuck is going on here?
I don't know. They've made
They
3
commissioned
variants.
an indie game a couple of months ago.
I know, Skelettack or whatever it was.
Yeah, looks cool.
It does look cool. Yeah, they're making PCs now, apparently. They're not very good, obviously, and they're overpriced.
Konami.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not very good and overpriced.
I just thought, everyone likes to know what Konami's doing. So there you go.
Well, it's important to keep abreast of the situation because you never know what Konami will be doing next. I wouldn't be especially surprised if I found out that there was perhaps a new housing development being built a couple of miles from my house, and it was being funded by Konami. I mean, obviously at first I'd be like, "That's really weird," and then I'd think about it and I'd be like, "No, it's not that weird. It's Konami."
Yeah. One sec, let me find. Here we go. I found it here. Yeah, it range between roughly $1,700 to $3,000. Like, they're a pile of wank. I don't really get it. It's like an i5.
I want a decent rig for $3,000.
I'm guessing this is like the shittest one. It's an i5, a GTX 1650, 8 gigs of wanky RAM, and a 500 gig SSD. It's like, you could make that for like 400 quid, 500 quid. It's I don't know. I don't know. But obviously this is in, no, I don't know. And yeah, the design looks weird. Have you seen the design? Yeah, there it is.
I have. It looks quite odd.
No. Anyway.
I don't know why it's happening.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's happening, but fine. But yeah, that's something that they're doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, get ready. Get your wallets ready.
Yeah.
What else? Splinter Cell. Splinter Cell is getting an animated Netflix series.
Yeah. The title of this, when I saw it, was a Splinter Cell animated series helmed by John Wickwriter. I like the word helmed. And it's coming to Netflix. Yeah, coming to Netflix. I didn't read the article because why would you? There you go. Information for you. 16 episodes.
Nice.
That's it.
Well, thank you. We've been watching the X-Men cartoon of late on Disney Plus. So we're looking for a new cartoon to watch, and Splinter Cell sounds like it could be a good one for us because I'm a huge fan.
2 seasons, 16 episodes, so that's probably 8 episodes a season.
Who's it aimed at?
Yep. People.
People
in general.
People with eyes.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
There's absolutely no information. This is just bullshit. I hate news. That's all lies.
I wouldn't worry about it. It's coming to Netflix. I'll watch it when it's on there. I'll report back.
You do that.
Don't concern yourselves with it until then, buddies, because there's nothing to say. But I'll let you know.
Thanks.
I don't know if Michael Ironside's involved in the project, but I'll be very upset if he isn't.
He won't be.
Well, I can already tell you it's going to be shit then if he's not. If he's not in there, then fuck that. But I will watch it, and then I'll tell you not to when it arrives.
Yeah.
So there. Finally, I thought I'd bring you this Meltdown from Cosmic Dad.
It was a good
Discord.
one.
It made me laugh. So I thought I'd read it out. It's he's had a I would say love-hate, but it's more like hate-loathe, like sort of hate and then something much worse than hate.
Yeah.
With Jedi Fallen Order, this is a game that I played through. I rather enjoyed, although it's a glitchy, buggy mess. There's a lot of problems with it. It was kind of saved vaguely for me by the fact that it was Star Wars. But yeah, it's a hugely frustrating experience, and they haven't really fixed it after all this time. Anyway, over to Cosmic Dad, who posted this meltdown earlier in the week. He said, I don't know why I do it to myself. Star Wars Jedi Glitch Fest again. Why am I even still trying to play it? Fuck knows. I was coming here to type some shit and relieve my tension, but I'm just winding myself up wondering which shit fest it gave me that I should moan about first. Just fuck it. I hate this game. I absolutely despise it. It might be the biggest waste of money I've ever made in video games. If you haven't bought it, please don't. Even if it's £5 on sale, don't. You will save yourself so much angst. I can't go back to it again. I have to get rid of it once and for all. 6:49 p.m. There, it's gone. That's 6 hours of my life I won't ever get back. Cosmic Dad doesn't like Jedi Fallen Order and has since deleted it.
Yeah, that's gone now.
Promise us that if you ever go back to that video game that you let us know, please. I'd love to hear more about your escapades in that world. Yeah. It's got problems, that video game, Ash.
There's some issues, I believe.
Yeah. Very frustrating.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when things aren't made correctly and just released.
Or fixed later.
Or fixed at all. Yeah, there is that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was talking to a friend of the podcast, Paul, this week, who exclusively plays football and racing games. And he said, literally, it was only like maybe an hour after this one came in. He was like, playing that Star Wars, that Jedi Fallen Order game the other day.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. It's pretty buggy, that, isn't it? He was like, yeah, but it has got a few issues, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it. And I don't normally play third-person story games, but I think I'll stick with this one. I'm really quite liking it. I was like, okay, enjoy. So, two sides of the coin there. I think something everyone can agree on who's played the game, whether they liked it or hated it, is that it's buggy, and it's still buggy. So, yeah.
There's issues, buddy. But yeah, thank you very much, Cosmic Dad, for, giving us your meltdown.
Yeah, givers. Thanks so much. And if you want to get involved in the Discord, buddies, then you can find the link to it on our website, jfgpodcast.co.uk, or via Twitch or YouTube, where we stream this on Wednesday nights. So head over there if you'd like to get involved in that. And you can see me maybe hold up a beer can or do a weird face every now and again.
That's true.
It's an option available to you. Unless you've got anything else, Ash, I think I'm going to draw this ridiculous fucking abomination to a close. If it's
we'll do that because I'm tired.
He's had enough, and so have I, and there's nothing left to say. So we'll quit while we're ahead, if such a thing could possibly be said about our show. Thanks so much for listening, buddies. It's been a pleasure. And if you've got anything to say, then just fucking say it. Like, don't let anyone tell you not to. And, we'll read it if you post it in the relevant locations. So there. We'll be back next time. Until then, I'm going to go and race around Vietnam because that's how I do things. So.
Fuck it.
There we are. Fucking right. Cheers. Thanks then. I've been Alex. He's been Ash.
Goodbye.
Farewell.